each time frame, the men and women might not have had a complete understanding of the Word of God. God still used them. He used them mightily, in a mighty way. Praise be to God. And we need to be thankful for that. But in these last days, God has opened up this message. He has revealed this message, and we've come full circle. And this message is the message, again, of the hour. The message that God is wanting proclaimed both to the lost and to the saved in these last days. And so I would encourage you to heed this word of the cross. Examine yourself, for God changes not. The Lord said, Malachi 3:6, I am the Lord, and I change not. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 8. I would encourage you to examine yourself. If you're in a church that's not proclaiming the full gospel, if you're in a church that's not proclaiming Pentecost, if you're in a church that's not proclaiming the message of the cross, you need to find a church that does so. You need to find a church that does so. You need to find a church that proclaims the entirety of the Word of God. And you will be blessed by the Lord in doing so. Let me state that again. You will be blessed by the Lord in doing so. Praise be to God. We have run out of time for today. We love each and every single one of you. We thank God for each and every single one of you. We pray God's richest blessings on each and every single one of you. We invite you to tune in the same time, the same place next week. I want to say this. If you're tuning in and you have a prayer request, a testimony, praise report, maybe you were saved or healed or baptized with the Spirit with the evidence of speaking with other tongues, or delivered or strengthened or helped as a result of tuning into this radio broadcast, I want you to write to me, Pastor Lewis Taylor, P.O. Box 12172, Charleston, West Virginia, with the zip code being 25302. If you have a prayer request and you want a prayer cloth, we'll mail you one free of charge. We'll put your name in the prayer box at our church and ministry here in West Virginia and pray over your need. Again, this address that I just gave you will not put you in contact with the radio station in itself, but will put you in contact with me and my ministry here in West Virginia. If you want to get in contact with the radio station, you can visit their official website at www.wxpsfm.com, and you can find the contact information that you will need there. Again, spread the word for us about this radio station. Tune in as often as you can. Make it a daily part of your walk with the Lord. We love you. God bless.
You have been listening to the Associate Ministers broadcast featuring ministers from Truth Chapel World Evangelism Fellowship Church. We hope you have been blessed by today's broadcast. We want to remind you that you can email or call us anytime with prayer requests. Please send an email to prayer@truthchapel.org or call 864-327-8725. If you would like to pay your tithe or give an offering to Truth Chapel, please mail your donation to Truth Chapel, P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina, 29304. Or you can donate online by visiting our website at www.truthchapel.org. Again, our mailing address is Truth Chapel, P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina, 29304. And our website is www.truthchapel.org. Thank you.
You're listening to WXPS LP 92.1 FM in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The House had been scheduled but has postponed the vote on an anti-hate resolution after an upheaval that split Democrats. Correspondent Sagar Magani reports from the White House.
The debate raged after freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar said Israel supporters were pushing lawmakers to take up Pledge of Allegiance to a foreign country.
I do not believe that she understood the full weight of the words.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the resolution will not name Omar, but will condemn anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, white supremacy, and other forms of hate. Florida's Ted Deutsch was among those who wanted it specifically aimed at anti-Semitism, while wondering why a party that touts diversity had such a messy public debate about how to call out bigotry.
This shouldn't be so hard.
Sagar Magani at the White House.
President Trump's former lawyer is suing the Trump Organization. White House correspondent Greg Clugston has more.
Michael Cohen filed a lawsuit claiming the Trump Organization broke a promise to pay his legal bills and owes at least $1.9 million to cover the cost of his defense. The suit claims the Trump Organization stopped paying Cohen's mounting legal fees after he began cooperating with federal prosecutors. Last year, Cohen pleaded guilty to tax crimes, lying to Congress, and campaign finance violations. He's expected to begin serving a 3-year prison term in May. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also on srnnews.com, ex-Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort will be learning how much time he'll be serving in prison for tax and bank fraud. The 69-year-old Manafort is in the courtroom now in Alexandria, Virginia. He could receive 20 years in prison under federal guidelines. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 218 points. The Nasdaq is off 83. For more details, go to srnnews.com. President Trump has received some exotic diplomatic gifts from the Holy Land during his time in office.
According to State Department records, the religiously themed items include a personalized hardcover book of Psalms worth $4,500 from the rabbi in charge of the Western Wall in Jerusalem, a gold and diamond necklace and similar pendant from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre valued at $5,800, and a mother-of-pearl nativity scene worth more than $4,000 from the Greek Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem. All of the received gifts were sent to the National Archives. Greg Clugston, the White House.
A New Jersey firefighter has filed a civil rights lawsuit. Alexander Smith began growing a beard in December as a born-again Christian. He alleges that the Atlantic City Fire Department is threatening to suspend him without pay. The department guidelines prohibit facial hair because it can affect the seal of the breathing mask firefighters wear. This is SRN News. Back in the 80s and 90s, Blockbuster stores were pretty much everywhere, but not anymore.
The Blockbuster store in Bend, Oregon became the last one in the U.S. last year, and now it's the only one in the world. The Bulletin reports a Blockbuster store in Perth, Australia is closing later this month, leaving the Bend franchise alone on the planet. Blockbuster stores in Anchorage and Fairbanks, Alaska closed last July. The yellow and blue themed movie rental stores were once everywhere with 9,000 stores worldwide. But competition from on-demand movie streaming services like Netflix and Hulu forced Blockbuster to declare bankruptcy in 2010. The company closed all of its corporate-owned stores in 2014. Keith Peters reporting.
And at the Geneva Auto Show, the most expensive new car ever sold is a one-off Bugatti luxury sports car. Price tag, $18.9 million. For more details, go to srnnews.com.
We'll have one more sunny day, then clouds and showers move in Friday and stick around through the weekend. The WXPS weather forecast, becoming mostly cloudy for tonight, low near 41, winds remain light from the south. Friday, overcast skies, showers developing by midday, we'll have a high around 51, and showers likely through the overnight, 41. Our weekend outlook, showers and thunderstorms, and mid-50s for Saturday. Thunderstorms and turning warmer for Sunday will top out in the upper 60s. For 92.1 WXPS, I'm meteorologist James Coppington.
And currently in Spartanburg, we have sunshine and 56 degrees.
It's just about home time with Scott Corbin on WXPS FM 92.1 and online at WXPSFM.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's 5 minutes now after the top of the hour. Welcome into Just About Home Time, and also known as hour number 2 of the March Radiothon. We're glad to have you with us this afternoon. Some of you just getting in the car and driving home from work. Some of you listening or watching online. We're glad you're with us, whether it's here locally in Spartanburg or by internet. And we are just starting out raising money for the March Radiothon, which means we have a $1,600 goal for radio, and we have a $2,000 goal for the building fund, and then we have a very small goal, about $260 in the television fund, to try to get started on television very, very soon. So we are so appreciative of all the help that has been given thus far. And before we give the brand new total, or is it going to show up there in just a minute? I see it's on the...
Yeah,
It's just sliding through the slideshow.
Okay, so they're going to see the total any minute now. I was going to give kind of a drum roll. Let me see if I can get the drum roll going here, because this is important, folks. Here we go. $1,600 in the radio fund. And what a blessing that is. $1,600. That means we have met our goal already in radio. And we are very, very grateful to all of you who have made that possible. Now, we're $65 into the building fund goal. Got a ways to go there, but we're only in our second hour out of 6 total hours we're doing live. So I believe we're going to get a long, long way in this radiothon. I need the list of all the people that have given since we were on at 1 p.m., please. And let me read those donors out and tell you how we got from where we were at 1 o'clock this afternoon, which was just over $1,300, how we got to that $1,600 mark. So this is a great way to start off this hour, and we're very, very grateful to the Lord and to all of you for making this possible. All right, let's see. We announced, I remember announcing the extra $10 that Laura was giving, so we're going to pick up with an anonymous gift of $20. And by the way, that anonymous gift was given because Melissa challenged 10 people to give $20 each in order that we might get $200 more into this radiothon. And Melissa herself gave 20. Her and Joe had already given 200. She gave 20 as part of the challenge. Here's an anonymous gift as part of that challenge. So we're going to keep that challenge going and say 8 more people to meet this challenge. We
actually, Nicole, what you're going to call out was in.
That was part of that
a response
too?
from Melissa.
Okay,
yeah.
great. So, and Nicole gave 20. So that means 3 people, including Melissa herself, stepped up to meet that challenge of $20 per person. So we need 7 more people. 7 more people. Is that? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because it was 10 people, $20 each, right? 7 more people needed to give $20 each to complete that challenge and to meet it. Now, we'll still have a long way to go in our totals that we're praying for, but that will complete that challenge, and then who knows, maybe somebody else will step up and issue another challenge as well. But again, Melissa herself and an anonymous gift, and Nicole each giving $20 to bring that challenge up to closer to where we were when we left off at 1 o'clock today. Brett is giving $25. Thank you, Brett, so very, very much for that. And then we had someone who said, I want to make out the difference between where you are, which at that time we were at $1,381 with the donations I've announced already. They said, I want to make up the difference between that and the $1,600 goal for radio. So we had an anonymous gift of $219 to bring us exactly to the $1,600 mark for radio. So that's how we got where we are. And again, we are so grateful, starting off the second hour on the first day and saying we've completed the radio goal. So we thank everybody for that. However, even though this is called Radiothon, it's turned into something that's really bigger and more needful than just raising the money to keep the radio station on the air. And that is where we come to you, the general public, whether you go to Truth Chapel or not. We come to you and we ask you, would you please be a part of the donations that will make it possible for us to be in this building for another month to ultimately pay off the renovation debts and be able to secure financing to purchase this building. Not only are we asking for the $2,000 goal to be met in radio, but we always say if there's somebody out there and you can give a very, very sizable and significant gift, and I don't mean to say that the things that have been given already, we've had people give hundreds of dollars in this radiothon. Those are very significant and sizable gifts. All gifts are significant. But I'm talking about if somebody could give several $1,000s, somebody who has it, and it's not that you'll miss it. You won't be really giving sacrificially, but you will be giving obediently to do that. And the Lord will bless you in ways that $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, whatever it may be that you give, the Lord will bless you in ways we believe that money would not purchase. But you'll be being obedient to the Lord to keep His work going. And that will just be such a big leap toward getting these debts paid. And I believe God's going to do it. He may not do it through an individual giving that amount. It may just be, coming in step by step like we've been doing. But I do believe that the Lord is going to take care of what these needs are. And we thank you. Those of you who have already done something, those of you who are going to be doing something. I've got a call coming in here. I'm going to take a chance and answer this, even though we've not yet announced that we're going to take phone calls. But hello, you are on the air.
Our records show that you have not.
All right, that's what I figured. Our records show probably that we're not in the Google listing like we need to be. I get that call all the time. Well, since we had a false positive there on the phone calls, you want to tell people how to give us a call and get on the air during this hour?
You have to remind me what the number is to get on the air.
It's one less than the donation and prayer line number.
Okay.
It's an
All
easy
right.
way to remember it.
Well, first of all, let me tell them how to donate, because we do need them to do that.
Yes.
We need people to give, and again, we're so appreciative of what we've gotten, but we still have over $2,000 that we really need to raise for other expenses. And so you can give by going to WXPSFM.com and click on the donate link. And when you do that, it will take you safely and securely through PayPal. You can call 864-327-8725. And when you do call, we have someone answering the phone who can take your credit or debit card information. We can process that. You can text the word give, GIVE, to 864-507-9382. You can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina, 29304. Or you can stop by. We're at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg, right across from the Marriott. We've got free cake in the bookstore, so come by and get you a piece of cake and drop off your donation, or just come get cake. Even if you don't want to drop off a donation, you're welcome to still come. But also what we would like to do this hour is we would like to open up the phone lines for people who just want to tell what the station means to them.
Mm-hmm.
As we said, we have the cake because we're celebrating 4 years, and the 4-year anniversary is actually next week on Thursday. And so we're going to have a special program that day where we're going to be discussing what God's done through the radio station and things like that. And as we are doing that, we would love to include recordings that we have of people telling us what it means. So if you would like to call right now and go ahead and tell us, we'll be able to include that in the program next week. So the number is 864-327-8724.
And they've got to call that number
Yes.
to get on the air.
If you call the other number, it's going to take you to the donation line. This is the number to be on the air in the studio. So 864-327-8724. And if you call, we'll answer, and you can tell us what the station means to you.
Amen. And don't be bashful about that. We're trying to encourage the church of the Lord in these days not to be bashful like we've been in the past over some things. So if the station, you don't have to say a whole lot. You don't have to read a speech. I jokingly said at 1 o'clock you've got 4 hours to get your speech ready, but just call in. And we're not asking for a pat on the back. That's not the purpose. But
No.
It will be encouraging to the people who are on this radio station, the other ministers, to know that people are out there. You just imagine what it's like week after week. You record an hour-long program. You go through all the preparation time. You go through the time to record it. Sometimes you encounter technical difficulties and things of that nature, and Satan will be sure to put those roadblocks in front of you. And they do that week after week, and sometimes it's just nice to hear that somebody got something out of it. So if you want to name a specific minister or program that's a blessing to you, you could do that. Or just call in and say, hey, I'm glad the station's here. Maybe tell us how long you've been listening, or whatever the Lord lays on your heart. But do that now, and we will be not only putting that over the air live right now, but we'll get a recording of it, and then we'll use it on our program next Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. as we officially celebrate the day.
And I hope the program will be something that will bless people and encourage them as we share things about the radio station, the history. But I know it would be especially encouraging for all listeners of the station, as well as the ministers of the station, if they're able to hear the call-ins of people, or even if you want to call at a later time and just leave a voice message.
And if they want to do that, they need to call.
They need to call the prayer donation line,
prayer
because
line, yep.
this one, the studio line, does not have a voicemail. But even if you want to do that, to be able to take those messages and to share them, what an encouragement it is to other people to know that you're listening and you're being blessed. And I think it'd be a great program, but it's going to be better if you're a part of it. And you don't have to talk long, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever you want to say, but it's still going to be a blessing just to hear from you.
Amen. Now, here's what we're going to do at some point during this hour, if we get time to, and I see we got a problem with our streaming there. That concerns me.
Yeah, it keeps turning yellow.
Okay,
I don't know
that's
why.
not good. What was I saying? Oh, if we get time to during this hour, and the way we're going to get time to is if we get that phone ringing. And I don't mean the studio line necessarily for you to talk. I want that too, but mainly the donation line needs to ring. People need to text in. So if we hear from enough people and we can slow down a little bit on the approaching you for financial help, I'm going to pick out, it's going to be hard to pick out a song here, but I'm going to play one of the 10 songs on the brand new CD by Joseph Larson. I had a birthday this week, and one of my gifts from Nikki and the kids was this CD, brand new, called Give Me Jesus by Joseph Larson. And what I really like about this CD, though I haven't heard it yet, but I know I'm going to like this, is it's a studio CD. I mean, I love their live recordings, but, we get to hear the live music out of Family Worship Center all the time through all their church services and the programming on SBN. But over the past couple of years, they've made some studio CDs. They did one with Kim and Randy. Robin Hurd has done one. They did one with the whole ensemble, the singing group, and now they've got one from Joseph. And as far as I know, every song on here is recorded in the studios. I'm really looking forward to hearing this myself, and we're just going to pick one out and play it if we get enough phone calls over the next, say, half hour or so. We'll try to get one of these songs in near the top of the hour and preview it for you. If we can get some phone calls to get us further along in this building fund. We're at $65 in that. We need $2,000. We also have, if you want to call in and designate some help for future television, we're asking for $260 in that. Folks, that's not much. That would put us on the air for a month, twice a week, a 1-minute segment twice a week on Channel 62 Morning News. Some of you listening to me right now in Spartanburg, that's how you get your news in the morning. You watch somewhere during that 2-hour news period they have, and we would be coming on 2 days out of the week for 1 minute with a devotional and giving people information on the screen while we're giving the devotional. We'll be telling them about the church, telling them about the radio station, and so forth. And so for $260, we can do that every month, and we do plan to proceed with that. And I was hoping that by this radiothon we'd have some sample clips of what that may look like, but we just didn't get around to doing that, so I apologize. But it will be some things, I guarantee you, that will get the attention of the viewer. Be something unexpected coming up right in the middle of all the bad news that people get every day. And it'll be me doing it, and Nikki will be doing some, and Matthew will be doing some, at least. And so that's what we're going to be working on, and hopefully getting that on the air sooner than later. They're ready for us to do it as soon as we tell them we're ready to pay for it. So that's why we've got this in the goal for this month, and that's why we had it in there last month. We didn't get anything in it last month. Maybe we will this time. But a lot bigger than that, and really more important than that as far as writing checks and paying bills, is $2,000 that's needed in the building fund. So once again, we're at $1,600 in radio. We are at $65 in the building fund. We've got a goal of $1,600 in radio, or we had a goal, I'll say. That's been met. Praise the Lord for that. $2,000 goal in the building fund, $260 goal in television. So thanks again to everybody for all that you've done so far. We can't thank you enough for what you've done. All right, let's do a little talking about some of the new programming. You mentioned briefly about that at the end of the last hour we were on live. I want to talk a little bit. We'll do this quickly because it's kind of more of an advertisement than it is fundraising, but show some of these T-shirts again that we've got available. And also we need to talk a little bit, though we can't say much because we were asked by the movie company not to, but we're previewing a movie here in the sanctuary tomorrow night that is not even released yet. It's going to be released into theaters Easter weekend. I believe it's 2 dates during that weekend that I'm hoping the movie will show here in Spartanburg at a local theater, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked into that. But it's to be released around the nation into theaters for just 2 days only. But there are some churches like ours that were asked if we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to show it to a select group of people. They call it a private screening. And that's why we can't really announce it publicly and say exactly what it is. But some of you know about it. And if you're interested and you don't know about it, pass by our church, take a look at the posters in the window, or give us a call, and we'll tell you about it. But it's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, so that's coming up. And then some of the new programming or some of the updated programming that's happening on the radio. Tell us about that, if you would.
Well, we've been recording new kids and teens programs and airing those. And so if you're listening to the radio, you might have been getting kind of tired of some of the outdated content, but we have got some new content out there, and also we're putting videos together of it, because we're recording video while we do the audio of the discussions. And so those will be going online soon. They're not quite out there yet, but they'll be going out there soon. And then also I've been doing more on the ladies programs, and I've been recording videos of those, which are also out there online for people to see. We're trying to get them out there in every way possible, because you never know who you can reach through what method. So you try to think it through. I'm putting them on Facebook. I'm putting them on YouTube. We're putting them on the Vision of Truth app. We're trying to get them every location we can. And then we are. Is there any other we're actually working on something new we haven't started yet, but I'll save that for another time to talk about. But so yeah, we're busy recording. We're recording lots of teaching, and pray that it's going to be a blessing to people.
All right, so there's the movie coming up. Of course, service is Sunday morning, and then the new radio programming that we hope you'll be listening to. Now, I think this Saturday you'll probably have a new kids program, but since we'll be preempting one airing of the teen program, it normally airs from 10:30 to 11:30, it will be on here live for the radiothon during that time. You're probably going to repeat last week's teen program,
right,
since it won't be heard except for one time on Saturday, which will be 9 p.m. And then I know you got a brand new Ladies of Faith for tomorrow. We just put that in the slot today to air tomorrow, brand new one for Friday. And what do they need to do if they want to watch you give the Ladies of Faith presentation over Facebook or YouTube or whatever? Do they need to send you a friend request on Facebook to be able to see it, or can they see it whether you're friends with them or not? How does that work?
Well, they can send me a friend request, but I'll be honest, I'm really bad about accepting friend requests. Usually if we don't have 100 friends in common, I just don't do it, because I'm not sure who you are. So that's not really the best way to do it. I'm just, even the 100 friends, usually I'm going to kind of investigate and see if I really think that those other 100 people looked into it before they accepted you, or if they just accepted you blindly. So I'm careful about that. In fact, I probably have a bunch of people in queue waiting for me to accept their requests that I haven't done so. But you don't have to be friends with me to see the videos. You have to go to my page, Nikki Corbin, and that's Nikkie. That's unusual spelling, but that's my name. And then when you go there, you can choose to follow me, even if you're not friends with me. If you follow me, you'll see anything that I post that is public. You won't see my post and I usually switch back and forth. If I'm posting pictures of my kids, or I'm talking about something personal with my family, I'm going to make that just for my friends to see. But if I'm doing something ministry related, if I'm talking about something coming up at church, or I'm sharing these ladies' videos, I always make that public, because I don't mind who sees that. Well,
you want everybody to see that.
Right, exactly. I want everybody to see that. Other things, I'm going to be careful and protect my family and make sure that it's not seen by everyone. So you can send me a friend request, but that's not really the safest way to ensure that you're going to get to see the videos. You can see them now, but even without following me. But if you choose to follow me, then you'll get notified when I'm actually doing the videos.
And you said you normally stream those live at 9 p.m. Eastern time on just certain evenings, not every evening?
Usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Is usually
about
what
4
I do.
nights a week.
Yeah.
So they can watch it live. And then, of course, anytime something goes out live on Facebook, it's archived right after that. So if they miss it at 9, that's okay. If they want to watch it at 10:15 or the next day or whatever, it's out there for them to.
You can also go to YouTube and search for the channel Ladies of Faith. I've created a channel there.
Oh, there's a whole channel called that.
Yeah, I've created a channel, and so far I've only uploaded. Well, I've uploaded one, and before I came in here to get on the air, I started the second one uploading. May sound like I take a long time, but when some of these things take an hour to upload, I can't upload it when I'm busy with running other things on my computer. I have to wait, because if I get too many things running, then it messes up. And then when I get when you have to wait an hour for it to upload, like, yeah, that kind of that becomes complicated. And so, this is my, like, how it's been lately. It's like, okay, I get it uploaded to the Vision of Truth. I spend an hour waiting on that, and I don't just sit there and wait. Of course, I do other stuff while I wait, but I have to wait an hour for it to get uploaded. And I can't do anything that's bogging my computer down during that hour. Like, I can't do video software, or it just totally freeze up what I'm trying to upload and stuff, because my computer's not that great. But I know I'm talking.
I think we're getting real technical for some people that.
So I spent an hour uploading that, then I spent an hour uploading on YouTube, and so what I'm saying, and usually when I make the videos, it takes an hour to do all the editing and stuff. So you're talking about one video, and usually it takes me 3 to 4 hours for everything I do for it. So if it seems like I take a while to get things done, I'm not just not doing anything. I'm spending 3 to 4 hours per video trying to get it uploaded and edited and things like that. So I apologize if I take a long time.
Yeah. All right, and what I really like, and this is something we haven't talked about yet, I like to watch things on the big TV screen if I can, and that's where the Roku device comes in. So tell them what we've been doing to finally get our Roku channel updated.
So if you have our app on Roku, it's called Vision of Truth. If you don't have it, go to the channel store and search for it, Vision of Truth. Everything on there is our material. And we've had this for years, but we've not been too good about updating and editing it recently.
That would be my fault, because it's just that's time consuming too. But we
we
got a way now.
It's the hours though of uploading files.
But once she was talking about all the uploading, which you might not be interested in how long it takes to upload, but once it's done, then we can. One of the things she uploads to allows us to put it on the Roku channel, so you can see Ladies of Faith on the Roku channel. Every time we have a church service, it gets recorded and it's immediately available for us to put on Roku. We have to spend about 5 minutes editing a file to tell it that the new video is out there. And we're not going to put every church service out there. As a matter of fact, for various reasons, I think I'm probably not going to put last night's. I feel like Wednesday night was a week ago, but it was just 24 hours ago. Probably not going to put that on the Roku channel because just depending on what's said in the message and things like that, or I may or may not want it out there permanently. So that one probably won't go out there. Last Sunday morning, I didn't get to preach because the Holy Spirit just moved and we continued to worship, and so we didn't have a recording of that. We only recorded the message part. So there's reasons that every service won't go out there, but a lot of them will, and it's easy for us to get them out there now. So that's just a couple of things you can see. We're going to be having some just about home times on there. When we interview people and do things that we think would be of interest to people to hear again or hear it after the fact. We'll have some of those out there.
We're going to be putting the kids and teens programs on there. Just
and so I don't remember if you said this earlier, but when you get all the kids and teens together from the church who want to come together to record for radio, you're videoing it as well. And so they'll be able to see the video of that. And at least the parents ought to be interested in watching that, right? And hopefully other people will as well. So, so anyway, a lot of neat stuff on the Roku channel, and most of it contains video as well as audio. We do have some old radio programs on there that we did not video while we were doing those. I mean, these are radio programs from way back, and just to hear kind of where the ministries come from and things we did in the past. There's old TV programs on there. Every now and then I still like to go ahead and watch one of those again. And so any new TV programs we do, which is, like I said, that's going to be coming up soon, that'll be on there. So you can sit there with your remote control in your living room with your TV and enjoy the ministry from the church, learn a lot more about the church and the radio station. There's a live radio feed 24/7 on the Roku channel. All they got to do is tell it to play it, and you'll be listening to the radio station through your television or through your sound system, however you have your home theater system set up at home. And you'll be seeing slides go by as you listen to the radio announcing upcoming events, advertising the bookstore, and things of that nature. And then when we go live with a radio program or with a church service, instead of just seeing the graphics go by, you'll actually see the live cameras turned on, and you'll see what's going on in the church service. So it's a way to, I mean, it's amazing if you think about it. A church our size can actually be seen really anywhere in the world where people have internet, unless it's blocked in some countries or whatever, and I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure how that works, but I was looking right before we came in here to do this program live, and we had a viewer over in Europe, and I thought it was going to be a friend of ours in Germany who watches a lot, but it was somebody in France. So brush up on your French, because somebody in France was watching. this afternoon.
That's been 20 years. I can't.
Longer than that for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's amazing to think about a church our size, but thanks to the technology that the Lord has put in our hands, people can actually watch us on television as long as they have internet and watch the church services anywhere practically in the world that they want to. And the device to attach to your TV to allow you to do that, you can get for $30 at Walmart. You don't have to go out and spend $500, with some strange piece of equipment that nobody knows about hardly and is going to get outdated soon. But this is a Roku device which gets more and more popular. You can get them for $30 at Walmart. Now, they've got higher priced ones. If you want a fancier model that's got some features on it that most people probably don't want anyway, but you can get it for $30 if you want to get the low-end model. You'll be able to watch Vision of Truth. So we invite you to do that.
Right.
All right, let's give the contact information again. We got folks watching on Facebook Live right now and probably our other media outreaches right now as well. I'm sure there's folks listening on FM 92.1, and we need to hear from you.
Right. You can give by going to our website, wxpsfm.com, and click on the donate link. You can give us a call at 864-327-8725. We have someone available to take your credit or debit card information by phone. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 864-507-9382. You can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina, 29304, or you can stop by. We're in downtown Spartanburg on 250 North Church Street. Yep, 250 North Church Street, right across from the Marriott. You can come on in and get you a piece of cake and drop off your donation that way. And let me remind you, we've met the radio goal, and we thank God for that. But we need to raise at least $2,000 to cover other expenses, namely the renovation expenses. Yes. And again, I want to remind our radio listeners, don't feel like because the radio goals met, your obligations are gone, because here's the fact: the majority of that came from people of Truth Chapel. So if the people of Truth Chapel can provide the radio station, I believe you can help out in paying for the facility that we're in to bring this program. So the move downtown was to enhance the radio ministry, the video ministry, and all those things. And as you're able to partake of it, I pray that you will decide to be a part of the work that is taking place here.
Amen. A good portion of this building is used either for radio or for future TV use, or for recordings that go out over the radio, over internet, for the bookstore and the prayer room. And I'm naming these things because these are the outreaches. Not to mention what happens in the sanctuary. Those are all outreaches to people beyond the four walls of this church, through the internet, through radio, and hopefully very soon through television.
Right.
And so that's why we feel like for people who don't go to church here, it's still appropriate that the Lord may lay it upon your heart to help us out to be able to be in this great facility that we have in downtown Spartanburg. Do this for me right quick, if you can bring that list of donors back up. I want to know how many different giving entities we have. And what I mean by that, folks, is it could be a couple who gave, it could be an individual, it could be a family, it could be a church or a ministry that gave. And I think we have all those different configurations, if you will, represented in our giving this month, and we usually do every month. I want to know how many, a family would represent one giving unit, a couple, an individual would all represent just one giving. So I want to know how many there are, and then I want to know how many of those are people in Spartanburg who don't attend Truth Chapel. Can you give me that right quick?
17 total.
Okay, we've got $1,600 a little over. We're almost at $1,700, counting what's been given in the building fund. So on average, you've got 17 people giving $100 each. Now, some of those people actually gave several $100s, and some gave maybe $25. But on average, about 17 people giving $100 each. They're the ones carrying the load. They're the ones who have said, I'm going to keep the radio station on the air for another month. 17 people. I would stake my life on the fact that we have a lot more than 17 listeners to this radio station. If we don't, now even if it was just 17, and if those 17 are willing to give $100 a month, then we're going to keep doing what we're doing. But, folks, that's just not the case. It's not the case at all, because we know people just this week or Sunday morning, you had somebody stop by. I think it was last Sunday morning. Stop by and purchase something in the bookstore. They were, and we're so glad that they did, but they were on their way to church to somewhere else because they have another church to go to, and that's great. But there's an example of a radio listener.
Right.
So how many people out of the 17 are people located in Spartanburg that we know are listening to the radio station, but they don't attend Truth Chapel? How many of those? None. That's what I thought. 0 as of right now in this particular radiothon. Now, that's not always true. Sometimes there's 1 or 2, but that's usually about it, right? Usually, at most, there's a couple of people in Spartanburg who are supporting who don't also go to Truth Chapel. Folks, that's not right. Go ahead. You about to say something?
I was going to say, you brought up the lady that stopped by the bookstore before service of the week, and you know, I was going to say, when she came in, you know, she came in and bought a Bible, and she said that she knew she could get it from JSM, and she watches SBN and everything, and she said, but I decided I would come get it from y'all to help y'all out.
And see, we appreciate
and
that.
So, you
That's
know,
very much
that was very thoughtful. That was very nice, you know, to support the bookstore, because that is a way that you can give and get, you know, because we don't charge a lot extra on our product, but there is a little bit of charge, so you are supporting us through that, and then you're also receiving something as well.
Right.
So
and my point
we're thankful
is,
for that.
This lady who did that, I believe she's one of many more that could do something like that.
Right.
I don't think there's just, and then we had a gentleman come by, and I've got to get back in touch with him. He wanted one of the giant print Bibles that we don't have on hand right now, and I've got to order him one. I've got to get back in touch with him before I do that. But he said, you know, he listens to the station.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly what he wanted. He watches SBN as well. And he said, I need one of the giant print versions. And so we know folks are out there. And of the few that we do know about, how many more are there that we don't know about? And you're being blessed. You're listening. And we're so glad that you are. We are so glad that you are listening in and getting something out of this radio station. You're the reason that we're here. But we just need you to say, it means enough to me that I'm going to help out with it a little bit. And there's somebody out there maybe could give a lot of money, but most might give between $10 and $25, or they might give $50, or whatever the case may be. So we're not giving a certain amount. We're not saying that everybody needs to give thus and so. I don't know. I don't know what people are able to give, and I don't know what the Lord wants you to give. But that's up to you to hear from the Lord and know what it is He would have you do. But it's so crucial that we obey the Lord. And,
right.
And maybe sometime during this radiothon we need to open the Bible and we've done this in the past. We haven't done it in a while, though. Maybe Saturday morning might be a good time, because unfortunately sometimes it really gets slow on Saturday mornings. I usually come in by myself. I don't know if it'll be that way this time or not. Last time I was in here, I was sick. It was a Saturday morning. The phone wasn't ringing. Nothing was happening. Nothing. I tell you, that was distressing.
Yeah.
I was thankful for what had happened so far, but so maybe Saturday morning might be a good time when it usually kind of slows down a little bit and everybody's sleeping in. Maybe we need to, for those few that are listening, maybe we need to open the Word and remind you about tithing and giving offerings and how important that it is. But, you know, we need your help. We need to keep this radio station on the air. We need to pay these building debts. But it's for you too, because God is enabled, if you will, to bless you when you're obedient to Him in the realm of giving. Now, could you scoot down a little bit? Because, see, you're kind of behind the sign there on the screen. It looks better if we're beside there. Much better, much better. I like what you did there. I wasn't expecting that. But I just don't want to. I don't want
I'm
like
still tweaking it. I'm trying to see how to make it.
I don't want to like it's hanging in front of our faces, because that's not appropriate. It needs to be behind us on the wall, which it is now. So that looks good. So what I want to see now regarding that sign is I want to see it updated. But right now there's nothing to update on it. But we need an update in that building fund. We're at 65 with a goal of $2,000. Our goals are not showing on the screen right now, but there's a $2,000 goal in the building fund and a $260 goal for television. So we need to hear from you. I don't think it's too soon to give the contact information again, and then go ahead with whatever you might want to talk about.
Right. Okay. So you can give by going to WXPSFM.com and clicking on the donate link. You can give us a call, 864-327-8725. We have someone here answering the phone who can take your credit or debit card information for us to process. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 864-507-9382. And when you text the word GIVE, it will prompt you for your credit or debit card information. You can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. But if you're going to do that, please give us a call and let us know that you'll be sending it so we can include it in today's totals. You can stop by. We're at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg. The bookstore's open. You're welcome to come in and drop off your donation as well as get a cake as we celebrate 4 years of the ministry.
All right.
And earlier you said we were going to talk about the box lunch, and we never did. So,
right. Let's do that.
So let's do that. Yes. So as we've shared, our goal today is $2,000. And let me say, the fundraiser we're planning is not the idea is not to make up the $2,000 with that. We need $2,000 now, and let the fundraisers that we're doing be extra money on top of that for the same purpose. But the purpose is
some of these things
start paying it off.
So we're not paying so much interest.
So we're not just paying minimums every month.
Right.
I don't want to just pay minimum. I want to pay minimum. I want to make sure I get that paid.
We thank God to be able to pay the minimum, but
I want to raise that $2,000 so that the minimum is paid. But I don't want to just pay minimum. I want to raise above that. And so, first of all, let me encourage you. We need you to give. We need you to give. We need somebody who can call us and say, I can give you a $5,000 check. Mm-hmm. And we need someone who can say, I can give you a $10,000 check. Anything. If you give us above our renovation expenses, we'll use it for our down payment on the building. So don't say, well, how much is too much?
You mean if they give enough to pay off all the renovation debts?
Exactly.
Which would be about what, $50,000 probably.
Yeah, a little more.
So if somebody comes in with $50,000 plus, we'll have all that paid off. We won't be asking you for that $2,000 anymore for that purpose, but we'll start.
We'll start raising money to make a down payment.
Raising
on
money for a down
the
payment.
Building.
Start looking into being able to purchase this building, which we need to do because the owners of this building want to sell the building. They don't want to rent it indefinitely. They want to sell it, and we need to step up and be able to buy it.
They agreed to rent it to us on a temporary basis while we got moved in, and things like that.
And then, honestly, the temporary basis runs out in a few months.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to take it out from under us. I pray they don't. I don't think they will.
One of the owners asked the other day if we were ready to buy, and we said we were just not ready right now. And he kind of was like, "It's okay, you know, he's not going to kick us out, but he is."
But they're not going to wait indefinitely either.
Right.
I don't blame them.
Right.
Because they need to sell the building, and so we need to get moving. And the way to get moving is for God's people to get moving and help us out. And so
any donation is not going to be too much. No matter what you give, we can apply it somewhere. If you wanted to help pay for the whole building and pay for the renovation debt, well, praise God for that.
We were told, if I can interrupt just a second, hold that thought. We were told by a friend of ours, actually, and he gave in this radiothon, about a man years and years ago that showed up in his church. He attends a church in North Carolina. And the man showed up and talked to the pastor, and he said, I want to know every debt that you have regarding the church. And I'm not asking for somebody to do this, but he also said, I want to know every personal debt you have.
I remember
and
that.
And he took him from bank to bank or wherever they had to go. He paid off every single one. And didn't it total about $1 million? I believe he said?
But I remember
something like that. So, if when we say, hey, somebody might can give $5,000, somebody might can give $10,000. If any of you kind of roll your eyes and think, well, why do they say stuff like that? That's why, because we serve a big God.
Amen.
And there are people out there with the money that God has blessed them with, and God may want them to do that, and we're going to let it be known that there is a need here.
Right.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. There is a need here, and it's not a need because we've been wasteful or frivolous or haven't planned well. There's a need because we believe we've gone forward and done what God has said to do, but it doesn't mean everything's bought and paid for right now.
Right.
So we need people's help. We need people to hear from God and help us out with that. So it may be a situation like that where one person feels led to do something, tremendous. And I've heard plenty of other stories like that. There's a lady who, and most of you that watch SBN, you know this story. The television studios they have at Jimmy Swaggart Ministries in Baton Rouge is called the Zoe M. Vance Teleproduction Center. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember how many millions it took to build that building, or exactly what it was $1 million. I don't know, but it was a large amount of money. One lady left them that money, and that's why the building's named after her. One woman built that building that now has been renovated for new equipment to update the technology, new studio, and so forth. That was in, I guess, the 1980s. And that many years later, that building is now beaming the gospel of Jesus Christ all over the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what one person's obedience to the Lord is doing right now to reach souls. That's amazing. That's an amazing testimony. And so just in case there's somebody in Spartanburg or beyond that the Lord lays it upon their heart, that's why we say what we say. And I'm not going to, if I back down from saying that and I say, well, we just won't talk about that anymore, it sounds silly or whatever, that means I've lost faith. That means I don't have the faith that I need to have in the Lord. And so I'm not going to do that. I hope it doesn't disturb anybody that we talk about things like that and say, we'll take it, we need it. I'm going to keep saying it.
Right.
To God be the glory when it happens.
Yep, amen. And so we ask you to consider giving to that in any way, whether it's $100, $10, $100, $1,000, or maybe you're going to bless us with much more than that. Be led by God. But meanwhile, we are planning some fundraisers to help, because the fact is there's been months that we didn't meet the 2,000 and it's been a struggle. And so we have really got to start moving forward on doing some things to ensure that we have the money to pay the bills each month, and prayerfully that these fundraisers will go well and we have even more than what's needed to pay the bills, but able to pay pay beyond just the minimum each month. And so what we've done is we planned a fundraiser that we're going to do this month, and if it goes well, we pray that we can continue doing it in future months. And what it's going to be is a boxed lunch fundraiser. A boxed lunch fundraiser. It's going to be Friday, March the 22nd, and what we're going to be serving are 2 hot dogs, chips, drink, and a dessert. And if you are interested in buying a boxed lunch, we ask that you register. We may have a few plates extra that day, but if you know you're coming to get a boxed lunch, don't count on coming in and just picking it up that day. Go ahead and pre-register so that we will know to have your lunch ready. Basically what you can do, if calling is more convenient for you, you can call the church phone number 864-585-3006. Or if you're able to, the best way is to go to our webpage on truthchapel.org/box-lunch.html.
Did you get that link on there yet?
I didn't look this afternoon. I forgot because I was doing other things. But
we got to get a link on that main page.
I will put a link on the main page, truthchapel.org, so that you can just click on the box lunch link to go to that page. And when you get to that page, it will ask you all the details about what you want on your hot dog and what kind of drink you want, things like that, and what time you would like your meal. If you are in the downtown area, we will deliver if you would like for us to do. Otherwise, we ask that you come and pick up your plate. And it's $5 for, again, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink and a dessert. That's a pretty good deal. $5 for all of that. And you'll be supporting and helping us raise money, which is greatly needed. So we ask if you consider being a part, and tell people you know. Tell people, spread the word.
Yeah, spread the word in your neighborhood. We'd love to, if you have a neighborhood that's located pretty close to downtown, we'll go out a little bit further than downtown to do that. If we can get a significant number of orders from a neighborhood, maybe you could be our person in your neighborhood to get up all the orders, and you collect the money, pay for it, go online and order the lunches, and we'll make a delivery maybe to you and let you distribute it however you do it. Some neighborhoods even have don't they have like a clubhouse or something?
Sometimes they do.
Somebody could set up, they really wanted to help us out, they could set that up with the residents of the neighborhood and say, hey, how many of you are willing to come and buy a lunch, and we'll deliver it to the clubhouse or whatever it's called in your neighborhood, and make a Friday afternoon at lunch spring party. Is that the first day? When's the first day of spring? Is it March 20, 21, 22, something like that?
It's something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, just use your imagination and know that it's all to go into to help carry forth the gospel of Jesus Christ. And think about and pray about what you could do.
Or if you work somewhere where there's multiple people in the office or something, spread the word. Ask them how many of them would like to order lunch that day. And, and again, if it's nearby, we'll deliver it to there. Or if not, if someone could come out and pick it up for everyone, let us know. And that way we can serve. It would be wonderful to serve multiple people at one location.
Yes.
So,
and one of my first duties next week is to get on the phone with local businesses.
Right.
Especially if it's a large business with a lot of employees, is to get on the phone and ask them, are they willing to do this? But you know what? You might know some people at some places you could call that I haven't even thought of, and I maybe don't know anybody there, even if I thought of the business, and you could help us out with that. So be thinking about and praying about that.
Right.
Get in touch with us.
Yes.
If nothing else, just to order your own lunch. Just to say, I'll come by and buy a box lunch. Here's how I want my hot dogs fixed. Here's what time I'll be there, and we'll have it ready for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's for our radio listeners, we got, I think, a great opportunity this weekend to swing by and have a slice of cake. I think it's a, great thing for the people. But wouldn't it be fun, that Friday for radio listeners to come in and grab a lunch and browse the bookstore? Mm-hmm. And a lot of our church people will be here helping us. Well, I say a lot, but those that are not obligated by jobs will be here, helping prepare the plates and everything, and so you can meet people, and it could be quite fun out there with if our radio listeners will come out, and and that's a way to support. And you're not only supporting us, but you're getting something good to eat for a relatively small amount of money. And so we invite you to come and be a part of that. And again, that's Friday, March the 22nd. We're doing it at lunchtime, and the reason why we chose that time is because we know there's a lot of people working downtown through the week, and we were hoping to be able to contact some of the businesses, as Scott said, and take advantage of the amount of people that are downtown through the week working. And prayerfully, some of them will decide that a box lunch sounds good. And as I said, if we do this on a future basis, we hope each month to have a different menu.
Right.
You don't have to say, well, hot dogs every month. No, we'll have something else the next month, and so forth. So it'll be good.
All right. So that's what we're doing, because we need some help to pay bills and be able to continue doing what we were doing. Let me go back. I don't mean to be negative, but I'm going to go back one more time and just repeat some of these statistics on the giving thus far. While we're so thankful that $1,600 has come in already for radio, we know we have a long way to go in the building fund. We've got a little bit in television we're asking for. But 17 people have made up this $1,665 that has been given thus far. 17 people. So that averages about $100 each. Some, gave much less than $100, and some gave much more than $100. But on average, that means 17 people are carrying the load this month for radio. I asked Nikki a half hour or so ago to look at the numbers and the giving and tell me how many people are from Spartanburg, in other words, radio listeners, that don't attend Truth Chapel, and she said there are none so far this month. Most months, at most, there's about 2, maybe 3 of people who live in Spartanburg but don't go to church here. So my point is this: people who are enjoying WXPS FM 92.1 in Spartanburg, no matter what church you go to, we believe you should be a part of helping out this radio station, helping us to stay on the air. We've named, I think we've got one-of-a-kind programming already that's all biblical and is so needed. We've told you about new programs coming on. They're not all on yet, but they're coming. Today, I've been working on new music. We've added two brand new CDs just in the last few days, 10 songs each that you'll be hearing rotated. We're pulling more music from the recent church services at Family Worship Center. We added about 6 or 7 of those this afternoon, and we're going to keep doing that on a regular basis to make the music much fresher than it has been. That's another thing that I just haven't taken the time and had the time really to do lately, but we're going to be busy working on that. So we're continually trying to improve, not that we feel like we had anything inferior to start with, but just because you can always keep it fresh and keep new music on there. new ideas about programming and things like that. And you're probably not ready to announce this, or maybe you are. If you are ready, feel free to. But you're working on something else you started on today that's going to be a brand new feature. We've never had anything like it over the radio station. Is it too soon to talk about it? You're going to hold off? She's going to hold off on that. I don't know when she'll announce it. Hopefully you'll be hearing it soon in the next week or so. But a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to be nice and play a song by Joseph Larson from his brand new CD, even though...
If I can announce,
yes,
we have $50 from Brother Chris.
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Brother Chris, and thank you to your great family. Brother Chris, he had a birthday recently, didn't he? Remember
I believe so.
I think he did, and so happy belated. I think I told him happy birthday on Facebook anyway, but faithful giver every month. Thank you, Brother Chris. So that'll go into the building fund.
Yep.
Is that okay with him? I'm sure
he didn't specify,
so. Okay, so now we're at $115 in the building fund. So $100 out of $2,000 means that we are about 5% there. So we got to do better tomorrow and Saturday. But thank you, Chris, for taking us almost twice as far as we were in the building fund. So now I'm definitely going to play that song by Joseph, because at least one person has given. Before I do that, though, and we're getting at the top of the hour, you got to hurry. Give that information again quickly. And then tomorrow we got to talk about T-shirts and other good stuff. We'll be back at noon tomorrow live. Here's how to get in touch with us.
All right, so you can go to the website, wxpsfm.com, and click on the donate link. And before I continue, let me just remind you that when we go off the air, you can give any of these ways, and we will announce it when we come back tomorrow at noon. So go ahead and give, even if it's after we're off the air. wxpsfm.com, and click on donate link. Give us a call at 864-327-8725. We will be leaving in a few minutes, but even if you miss us, you can call and leave your phone number, and we'll call you back, and then we can get your credit or debit card information and be able to process that. You can also text us at 864-507-9382. You text the word GIVE to that number, and when you text it, it will automatically ask for your credit and debit card information and be able to process that. You can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. And when you mail that check, it will, if you're going to mail a check, call us and let us know that you're going to mail one so we can include it in today's totals. Or you can stop by. We're about to close the bookstore in just a few minutes, but tomorrow we'll be back here at 10, and it's 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg.
When I'm down and out, and my heart is filled with fear and doubt, it's when I lift up my head, He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll away, Lord. Roll them all away, Lord. Troubles roll away, Lord. Troubles roll away, Lord. When I lift up my head, He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll them all away, Lord. Troubles roll away, Lord. Roll them all away, Lord. Troubles roll away, Lord. Oh, when I lift up my head, He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Well, I can see the sun with my head to the ground. Tears dim my vision and weigh my heart down. But I found the secret when I kneel to pray. When I lift up my head, then He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll them all away, Lord. Troubles roll away, Lord. Roll away, Lord. Troubles roll away, Lord. When I lift up my head, He lifts up my heart.
You're listening to WXPS LP 92.1 FM in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
We see the signs